Hey everybody, Payments Professor here, and I've got to answer a question for you that's just coming in from all different areas. I'm getting this on the YouTube site, I'm getting a lot of emails, and I'm getting calls asking the same thing over and over again. And the question is, I'm a small business and I want to be able to offer electronic payments. What do I do? And when I get that question, I want you to know it actually leads to me asking a lot more questions. I'm going to ask, well, what kind of payments do you want to offer or to be able to receive or send? Are you going to be working with businesses that you send them money or you receive money from a business? Are you going to be working with consumers that you send or receive money from consumers? Oh, what about payroll? Are you going to have a staff and need to be able to do payroll? Is this going to be online? Is this going to be in person? That's a lot of different questions, right? Well, all of those have to be answered to be able to determine what's the best option or options for your small business. Now, I am a small business owner as the Payments Professor. The Payments Professor is actually a website that I run, and I do work with vendors to be able to have camera equipment and to be able to provide even payouts to some of the services that I work with. And to be able to solve for payment options, I've looked at many different areas, and I'll tell you what I recommend. Number one, talk to your bank or credit union. And I really like working with community banks or credit unions because they do tend to personalize things. The degree of offerings can change depending on who you talk to, so that's why you want to probably talk to a few of them. If you have a business relationship for your business account at a local bank or credit union, go talk to them and tell them what you're wanting to do. Let them know that, okay, I'm offering service X, I sell it online, and it is predominantly purchased by consumers or it's purchased by businesses. Why do I want to tell that? Because collecting payments or sending payments from a consumer or a business, either way, sending or receiving, it's got different rules and different ways that it can be accomplished. You may want to do things using check. You may want to do things in person using cash. You may be doing things with credit cards. You may be doing things with debit cards. You may be doing things electronically with ACH. We even have new faster payments that are coming out. And depending on if you're sending or receiving, or when with consumers or with businesses, it's a totally different view. And your bank or your credit union, they are the experts that know what can or cannot be done. And again, talk to several because you want to find out what the different offerings are out there. Also, there's a lot of rules and regulations when it comes to compliance and to security. And they know how all of that works. You don't want to be a victim of fraud. You don't want to have a data breach or anything like that. How do I do some of this? I actually have mine distributed. I have a community bank that I do work with that does some of my services. Now, I also have an online presence. For example, the Payments Professor website. What I did for my Payments Professor website to be able to collect online payments, and these are from consumers and businesses, is I chose a host platform that I pay for this, I pay actually a premium for this, provide services, online services that get this all accomplished for me. So I have a hybrid model of doing electronic payments, I would say, and I recommend to everybody. If you're doing an online environment, check with your online providers and see what they can do for online collections. Again, I pay a premium, but I have the peace of mind of knowing that the security and the rules and regulations are in place, and I'm a payments expert. So interesting that I made that choice. For the more local things that I do, though, I use my local bank and I use my local services because that tends to work out a little bit better, a little bit easier, and I don't have to pay such a premium. It's actually a beneficial relationship for both of us, and it makes it easier to be able to do that. So there are different levels and there are different degrees of where you're going to have to send and receive money, and that can be in person, it can be online, it can be with consumers, and it can be with other businesses. And oh, let's not forget either, there's the paying of the taxes, that's paying to governments, and that's a whole different area too. My recommendation, again, start off by talking to your local bank or credit union. They'll guide you in the right direction. You can also look though at some of your host platforms for where your websites are hosted, and they may be able to have offerings for you as well. If there's anything else I can do to be able to potentially solve some of the questions your small business may have, please let me know. For now, class dismissed.